Hello, welcome to Lawrence County History Corner. My name is Lori. Today we're going a little far outside of Lawrence County, but it does have roots in Lawrence County. Um, I have been working on an index of some of the odd deaths for our local history department, and I came across one that actually caught my eye. Edward Hall, who was 30 years old. His death was reported in 1915 in December in the Morning Irongtonian, and his cause of death was listed as killed in the mine horror at Boomer, West Virginia. Well, that caught my attention, and so I wanted to look up exactly what was this horror that happened. And I went to Chronicling America, which is a free site. It has a lot of newspapers. No, it does not have local newspapers, but it does have newspapers from all over the country. And it's a good resource, especially if you're looking for information about news articles or events outside the area. And of course, there are some that made national news, and this is one of them that occurred in West Virginia. It happened in December 1st is when it was first noted. Um, the Hays Free Press of Hays, Kansas, published an article on it on December 11th, 1915. The title is Mine Explosion Kills 19. Little hope for 11 others trapped in workings of a West Virginia company. And 19 men are known to have been killed by an explosion in the mine number 2 of the Boomer Coal and Coke Company in Boomer, West Virginia. According to the rescue parties emerging from the workings tonight, the bodies will be taken out tomorrow morning. It was said 11 others are still missing. 30 miners were brought to the surface tonight, and rescuers have hopes that others will be found alive. The work of removing the debris from the entries into the progressing slowly, and will be late tomorrow before the innermost parts of the mine have been explored. So it was an explosion that happened in mines, which was not unusual. The Bismarck Daily Tribune also reported um, on the explosion, and it was caused by a blowout shot. 30 miners were actually working in the mine, so all 30 were affected. Um, by December 1st, it says they said all 30 have been recovered and accounted for. However, it also says, this doesn't make sense, that 30 were still missing, so maybe there were 60 that was affected. All were suffering, those that had been recovered were suffering from effects of the explosion. None was in serious condition except for one man whose leg was broken. It is the 10 miners were rescued from a sub entrance at 6 o'clock in the morning in a semi-conscious condition. And when revived, they said they had seen many men dead for a short distance where the explosion had occurred. It continued to go to, there was an article of Flagstaff, Arizona, and the Hawaiian Gazette from Honolulu. It really did make a lot of news. In the Ottumwa Tri-Weekly Courier in Ottumwa, Iowa, and I may be mispronouncing that. It talks about many of the bodies of 14 miners who were lost their lives in the mine number 2 of the Boomer Coal Company by explosion of a blowout shot, which yesterday imperiled 300 men. As you can see, the numbers are varying from article to article. That's kind of typical of the time. They were brought to the 14 that were killed were brought to the surface and taken to a morgue temporarily nearby. Soon afterward, a rescue party appeared with 5 other men who had been buried far underground and who, though still alive, were in critical condition, and they were taken to a nearby hospital. They had been searching the workings during the night and came out to report they had been unable to locate any of the 5 or 6 miners still missing, and their places were at once taken by fresh volunteers, all of who were working under the direction of the state mine inspectors and engineers from the Bureau of Mines. So they continued to work trying to take care of those. Now here is an article, and it appeared in the Bellington Progressive from Bellington, West Virginia. It was entitled West Virginia Mine Explosion 300 at Work. So apparently it was 300, not 30. But most of the articles are pretty much the same. They vary from, as you can tell, from day to day, but it was an explosion, and it did take the life of a Lawrence Countyan named Edward Hall, and his death was reported in the Morning Irongtonian on the 2nd of December 1915. So we do know that the mines themselves are still dangerous today, but back then they even had more concerns. Um, I hope you enjoyed this little walk down history lane, and if you would like to learn more about Lawrence County history or any of the topics, please contact our local history and genealogy room located on the 2nd floor of the Ironton Library. You can call us at 740-532-1124. We are open the same hours as the library. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time.